Hey everyone, it's NHL Hockey News Sports. We're back on the video, and today we have some news out here through the week we want to talk about. This is week one of NHL news um, out there. Just some points to think about. Not just news, some are news, but some are mostly thoughts about some teams here after week one, as we see. So I'm starting off from Montreal. I thought to start off with the Habs here. Obviously, the Habs are known as a rebuilding team at this point for this coming season, and we'll see how long they're going to go for that. But talking about this season, Slafovsky already played a couple games, 3 games, I should say. First game he looked solid. The other games he really felt like he wasn't even out there. He was just not there. It felt like. Um, Obviously, right now, as I'm recording this, he's playing against the Penguins. Actually, he has not played bad against the Penguins tonight. But does he need time in Laval? When is that going to happen? Is that possible? I would say it's going to be possible eventually if he's going to go the full 9 games or he's going to go less than that. Because at the 9 games, after you play 9 games, it burns a year off your deal. So it'll be 2 years instead of 3 years. So, do they want to do that? Yes, no. Some teams don't mind doing that. It'd be fine. Some teams are like, hey, let's hold off. Let's send him back to, if it's Europe or, to junior or whatever it might be. But for Slafkovsky, it would be the AHL, Laval Rocket. That's what it would be. We'll see if that happens or not. It'll be very interesting to see when they do that, if it's 9 games or less, or maybe it's even more after that. So I don't know. Be very interesting, but I do think he needs some time just to play top minutes and just to score and be the guy we know him. Great shot, big power forward, to be that guy. Moving on now to Caitlin Priamu. He has been called up to Montreal. Jake Allen's wife is having a baby, so now that means Priamu's going to be able to play tonight, or going to be the backup to Montembeault as the Penguins play the Canadians tonight. Will Priamu get some time? I doubt it. I really do. I think it's just going to be Priamu because Priamu has not been too good this preseason, I should say. He's 23. Anything could change, but he just hasn't. The first game of the season for Laval, he did let like 5 goals in. That is 5 goals. That's 1 game, but a little concerned now. I don't want to jump the gun there, but it's a little concerning there for sure. Moving on now to the Minnesota Wild. What a season they had last year, but this season they are starting off on a slow start. And also, Marc-Andre Fleury has let 11 goals in 2 games. And that's not Fleury for you. Through his career, over 500 wins as a goalie, third all-time wins by a goalie in NHL history. This is not what he's used to. It's actually kind of like last year. Had a slow start with the Blackhawks because the Blackhawks failed last year. Supposed to be a playoff team, but they failed, and now look where they are. But Fleury hasn't had the best start. The Wild, the whole team needs to do better. It's not just Fleury, not putting the pressure just on Fleury. Yes, it's 11 goals in 2 games, but the whole team in general needs to get better, needs to do a better job, and they are a team that can do that. Yes, they lost Fiala to the Kings. They traded him to the Kings because they couldn't afford him anymore. Yes, they couldn't do that. Yes, because of the Parisi and Sudo dead cap situation they have. That's a burden to the cap situation. Can't sign Fiala. Can't bring someone else to bolster the lineup. Have to rely on the young guys like Rossi and Boldy having that impact on the Wild, along with the other guys like Kaprizov, Zuccarello, Hartman. You know what I mean? Talking about the forwards there. And defense, too. For sure. Moving on now to the Flyers. The Flyers are very interesting because I think a lot of people think they were going to be really bad. Why? Because look at the roster they got. They have a really bad roster. They're trying to win it, with John Tortorella and all that stuff. Trying to be really hard at the puck, try to win the battles, all that stuff. But, it's only 2-0-0. Are they making the playoffs? I doubt it. Will they be a bottom 10 team again? Bottom, right there? Yeah, seems likely still, but we'll see what happens. I know they got 2-0-0, but that can always change very quickly. So we'll see what happens. They look good right now. But it is 82 games. It's not just 2 games and that's it to the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. It is surprising they're up 2-0-0. It is. But we'll see what happens. Without Sean Couturier at the same time, Scott Laughton has looked good. Hart has looked not bad either. So we'll see what happens. It's just, we need some time here to see how the Flyers really do here. Moving on down to the Boston Bruins. Despite the injuries of Marchand, Grizzly, McAvoy, guys like that, the Bruins have been able to continue to win. They've been able to win games. I know the first one. Let's see. What was the first one? Hold on. Let me see. The first one was Washington. That's right, they won 5-2. And then the second one was the easier one, obviously. You can score a lot, is the Coyotes. That's a freebie really there for them. 6-3 against the Coyotes and then 5-2 against Washington. They play Florida right now, and Florida, they are up 2-1 on Florida. But we'll see what happens. That's in the second period. So, interesting how they start. Jim Montgomery, the new coach of the Boston Bruins, he is about offense. Look at the Blues power play last year. Dynamic. One of the best in the league last year. So, he's all about offense. We'll see how it goes for them. Moving on now to the Devils. Talking about a team that hasn't done so too good this coming season and had expectations of being not bad. Trying to contend for a playoff spot. And right now, they find themselves 0-2-0 of the season. So, is Lindy Ruff on the hot seat? Well, it's only 2 games. Yes, I don't want to overreact. But should they get rid of him? They added to the team. They added goaltending. They added defense. They added offense. Palat is now, in 2 games, a -5. I know plus and minuses you might not care about, but, hasn't looked too good here. Marino has been added. Vanacek has been added. So, should they get rid of Ruff? They changed the assistant coaches out. They kept Ruff. They added a lot, but they didn't change Ruff. Should they get rid of Lindy Ruff? We'll see what happens. It is 2 games, like I said. You don't want to overreact. But if they, fire Ruff, is that the problem? You could fire him. All right, let's fire him now. But what if things don't change? What if things just kind of stay the same? Is it really him? We'll see what happens. But, I think a little bit more time. You don't fire him now, obviously. It's only 2 games. Wait some time. Wait for the 7 games. See from that, and then make an evaluation from there. Things haven't gone too well. If you want to turn things quickly around, maybe in 7 games, you say, alright, he needs to go. Get someone else, alright? We'll see what happens. But it'll be very interesting. What happens to the Devils here? Do they play tonight? They do not. They play against the Ducks tomorrow at 7 o'clock at the Devils. So we'll see what happens there. If things turn around, it'll be very interesting. Moving on now to the Caps. Not having Backstrom, Wilson, is it affecting them? Yes. Backstrom is that playmaker. Yes. Wilson is that, big power forward type of guy that is part of your lineup. Yes, you signed Dylan Strome, the young player. 25 or whatever, 24. He has done not bad, but he doesn't replace Backstrom. He doesn't replace what Wilson brings, right? And the team, we'll see what happens. Still 2-1 now. Right now, I believe they're playing also. I don't want to overreact. I know they went 0-2 or the season end was 2-1. So, things change. Obviously, things change right now. Right now it's 3-2 Canucks over the Capitals, but we'll see what happens. They changed the goaltending, getting rid of Vanacek to the Devils, buying, or not even getting a qualifying offer, so Ilya Samsonov. So he went to free agency and signed with the Leafs. That changed. So, see how the Capitals do this year. Or they find themselves outside the playoff spot? It is tough. We'll find out. Moving on now to the Vegas Golden Knights. Great start of the season so far. They've been fantastic. And you know what? last year, they were still really good until the end. They started to fall off, but they were still contending for that playoff spot, for that second wildcard spot. Still, despite having injuries, not having Stone, not having Pacioretty at times, waiting for Eichel to come back and knowing he's still not 100% with his neck. Knowing that, let's see, where's Vegas? Vegas now is 3-0 of the season. There you go. Eichel's healthy, Stone is healthy. Pacioretty obviously got traded to the Carolina Hurricanes. He's on the long-term injury reserve at the moment. You look at that, they have played great so far, which is good to see. Oh wow, it's 4-2 Canucks over the Capitals, so it's going to be 1-3-0 probably. We'll see, it could change. You never know. Not to jump on it there, but looking at the Golden Knights, they are a team that look good. They really do. And even the goaltending situation, not having Leno for the whole entire season. Your starting goalie gone for the whole entire season with hip surgery. He is done for the season. Having Logan Thompson, I like how Logan Thompson looks in goal. His position in goal looks really solid, and he has played well. He has played very well. I like how he has played. I'm impressed with his goalie stance, how he moves side to side. I watched that a lot to see how they do each goalie in the NHL, and I thought he looked really good. I was really impressed. Looked a lot better than last year. Even though he played so last year, I just like how he does this year with his stance. He improved, maybe confidence, knowing, hey, he's the number one guy here. You also have Aiden Hill. Bruce Waugh is supposed to be coming back soon, so they have 4 goalies here. Leno, he's out. Bruce Waugh, I think he had hip also. Hill's your backup, and now you have Logan Thompson as your number 1. He actually catches right instead of left. Mostly goalies catch left over right. There's only a couple in the NHL. Vamelka and Thompson are the only ones, I think, right now. Oh, Charlie Lindgren. Backing up for the Capitals, he is also right. So, except that, there's not too many out there. Looking at all the other goalies. Moving on now to the Sharks. They are having a miserable start to the season. We're talking about 0-4-0 the season. Not looking too good. Sending the young players like Eklund and Bordelot down to the minors to play. That is good. Don't let them play in this right now. Just let those guys score in the AHL with the Barracuda. There you go. Let them play there. That is the place to have them play. You know, the Sharks are not going to be doing too well. They're going to get a really high draft pick in 2023. That's when you want it. You know, but, you know, they were a team. Hey, you know, we're going to be, you know, trying to make the playoffs. They're 0-4. Don't do it. Accept the rebuild. So, just saying. Accept the rebuild. So, you know, they should. They really should. So, we'll see what happens. It'll be very interesting. Moving on now to the, I don't know, I can't think of the Red Wings. There we go. I like to talk about a line that's been absolutely incredible. Soderstrom, Sundqvist, and Rasmussen. I'd like to tell you how tall these guys are, because this is an amazing line. This is a really, really cool line. Rasmussen, we'll start off with Rasmussen. He is 6'6", is Rasmussen. Elmo Soderblom is 6'8". Soderblom is 6'8", Rasmussen is 6'6". And Oscar Sundqvist, there we go, who is 6'3", so he's the shortest out of all of them, which is pretty crazy. Lindblom, 6'8". Lindblom is 6'8". Sundqvist is 6'3", and Rasmussen is 6'6". A big line, and they've been scoring. Rasmussen has been great. Sundqvist has been great, and so has Soderblom as the rookie here. Soderblom is like 21. He already got his first goal, you know, just getting to the net. And these guys just push to the net. They are big, strong, and keep them together. They're playing really well, and they're one of the best lines Detroit has had this season. Also, the Kubalik, Sherratt, who else? Mata has looked great Really, Husso has looked great. Let's see, David Perron. They didn't say much about David Perron. Let's see, how's Perron so far this season? I know it's only a couple games, but 1 goal in 2 games, not bad. Perron is a solid option also. So they all have been good. Shirai already has a goal. I think Mata has a goal. Or maybe he doesn't. Kubalik has a goal. Good to see that stuff. And so does Soderblom. So good start here for the Red Wings. Keep it up. They have Derek Lerone as the new head coach. So he has that defense. He has added to the Red Wings, and that's what they need. That idea system they have. Moving on now to the Blue Jackets. Yeah, Lindy out 4 weeks. Will that affect the Blue Jackets? Yes. Having Johnny Gaudreau, Ken Johnson, and like a Patrick Laine, or Johnny Gaudreau, Bugeno, and Laine is your lineup there. But now Laine's out. He has the big shot. Gone 4 weeks. Does that sting? Absolutely. That's goals for you. You're losing goals here. That's a problem for sure. Johnny Gaudreau, let's talk about him for a second. He already has his first goal as a Blue Jacket. But not having Laine stings. You gotta get that guy. Johnny Gaudreau scores, but he's also a playmaker, so he passes to Laine. They need Laine back soon. Hopefully he can come soon, for sure. They already are 0-2 of the season. Even with Laine, they needed him, so 0-3. Yikes. But things gotta change here. They spend big money on Laine and Johnny Gaudreau in free agency, obviously giving Laine extension and taking the big fish from the free agency. Johnny Gaudreau, they need to get better here if they want any chance to try to make the playoffs with the new team. So, thanks for watching. It's Any Talk News Sports. I'll see you next video. Bye.